This has to be the best message I have ever seen in my life. Okay, absolutely ridiculous.
So high knees powering through. We have got
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am fully aware that the lighting is like crazy bad right now. It's because the sun is going down behind us. I was supposed to start filming about 8 hours ago, but I have had a day packed full with visitors, so I'm not complaining. It's been like an incredible day. My family all came over. It's just been an epic day, and I was like wanting to film, but I couldn't. Sorry. The past week has been a little bit of an odd one for me. Some of you may have seen on my Instagram stories, I really haven't been sleeping very well just because the pain at night has been bad. I've been suffering with a little bit of anxiety, and that has kind of developed into insomnia. So I've been getting to bed at like 4:30. However, last night was like a major turning point for me. Mindset turnaround. I was actually chatting to one of my best friends, Charlene, who's a physiotherapist who's kind of looking after my care of my knee at the moment, and she recommended that I watch a documentary called Heal. It's actually on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, I would strongly recommend you watch it. It's a very long documentary, and I think you could probably watch it about 5 times and still not take it all in. There is so much information packed into one. I don't know if I necessarily, is agree the right word? Yeah, I guess. Like agree with it all, but there are so many things that I took from it. And it's all about basically the power of the mind and positivity when it comes to healing. Now, one of the main messages that I took home from that documentary is you can say that you're positive, you can act positive, but unless you actually believe that you are gonna heal and believe that without anxiety, you are not gonna get the results that you want. So for me, last night was kind of a turning point. The documentary started sparking some more thoughts in my head. It got me thinking about, I guess, my actions, what I'm saying, and if I actually truly believe them, if you know what I mean. So it was like massive food for thought. That's always a really difficult sentence to say. Massive food for thought for me. And I actually did some meditation before going to bed last night, which typically I'm not very good at. I'm quite a like high energy person. And this is what this documentary talks about a lot. It basically talks about medicine from years ago and the fight or flight mechanism. So the example that they use, which is from way back in the day, is if you are being chased by, I think it's a tiger, how much energy would you use to run away from that tiger? And obviously it's 100% energy, right? But they were basically saying now in the crazy day-to-day lives that we live, there is stimulus of anxiety, stress, absolutely everywhere we look. Even like stepping out of your front door, are you gonna make it for the tube in time? Are your kids late for school? Are you having an argument with your partner? Whatever it might be, we have so many triggers in our lives right now for anxiety, and it's all about how we identify them and we manage them. And our body is either in one of 2 states. We're either in rest and repair or fight or flight. And it's fine to be here, but not 100% of the time. Right now for me, with my injury, I need to be in that rest and repair. So for me, it's all about my mind, and it's all about controlling my thoughts, dampening those thoughts of anxiety, and basically allowing my body to heal. So anyway, I feel like that is something that I could talk about for days. I now have a new evening and morning routine, which I do want to share with you guys. I did it for the first time this morning, and it was like heaven. There have been a few changes that I've made, and I don't want to really share it with you guys right now until I've properly tried and tested it. But last night is the first night that I fell asleep before 4 AM. I fell asleep at 1 AM last night, and it only took me about half an hour to get to sleep, which for me at the moment is like a record, by the way, because my insomnia is really bad. And I need to stop saying that out loud because it's not really bad anymore. I'm managing it. Today is a little Q&A based on your questions. Number 1, what is the best thing about your life in Dubai? Sorry for mentioning it, and I hope you get back soon. So for those of you who don't know, basically I live in between London and Dubai. My partner Alex lives in Dubai. A lot of my work is still in London. It's all very new. But the thing that I miss most about Dubai, I mean, Technically, I have to say Alex. Obviously, I miss him a lot, but about Dubai itself, it's the beach. Hands down, the easiest answer ever. I am such a beach girl. I find the ocean the most calming thing in the world, and if there's like sand under my feet, I am like a different human. Who did you used to swim for back in the day? Cheshunt Swimming Club in North London. How did you stay fit in college? I'm having trouble with finding time. University, I wasn't my fittest, if I'm totally honest. I certainly wasn't super unfit, but I'm nowhere near as fit as I was now. My eating wasn't as good and I wasn't working out as much. I didn't have much money at that time, so I couldn't like afford a really expensive gym. But I think the beauty now is there's so many workouts and advice available online that you can actually do your workouts in your university room. Food is the struggle at university because there's so many temptations, and often the cheapest food available is actually really unhealthy. But I actually have loads of recipes available on my website that you can check out which aren't expensive, and it's all just about planning your food, planning your meals, and making sure when you're buying your groceries in for the week that you're not wasting any, so you're buying the right amount in so that you can prepare your meals. Meal prep is literally my savior at the moment, so I really hope that helps. Next up, how did you prepare to climb a mountain? So for those of you who don't know, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro for pancreatic cancer for charity. I climbed it with one of my best friends, Charlene, in memory of her mum, Anne O'Leary, and it was hands down the best experience of my life. The toughest, but the best experience of my life. To prepare for it, you don't have to be crazy fit. I was already fit enough in terms of like my lung function. However, I did do some altitude chamber training sessions, which were amazing on a pod. I also climbed, I think, 3 mountains beforehand, just small mountains, Snowdon, Ben Nevis, I can't even remember what the last one was, but like day climbs. And the most important thing, hands down, is preparing your bag correctly. I can't even express to you how important it is. Alex really helped me with that because I'd never camped before in my life. Like, I didn't know how to pack light. I didn't know how to like ration on foods or what foods to take, how to make your bag lighter. I didn't even know what a water bladder was. Like, I was completely oblivious, guys, and my main concern was being warm enough because I am always like freezing, hence I love the sun. And I would say my biggest struggle while climbing Mount Kilimanjaro was the cold. The cold with the tiredness, with the altitude sickness. I feel like this could be a whole new vlog because climbing that mountain was a challenge, but as I said, the best challenge of my life. Have you ever run a marathon? No, I haven't. I've run a lot of half marathons, but I've never run a full marathon. I was always a middle distance runner when I was younger. I was an 800 meter runner. I got a scholarship to a really good athletic school and it was all based around my 800 meter time. So I was never really super long distance. However, it would be a really nice challenge. So maybe that could be a goal, but certainly not in the immediate future because I'm going to be rehabbing this bad boy for the next 1.5 years. Next up, opinion on veganism. Massive respect for all the vegans out there. So I don't know if you guys know this about me, I actually haven't eaten meat itself for over 15 years. Both my brother and I stopped eating meat around the same time when we were pretty young, which was like a massive shock to my family. My dad is actually Cypriot, and for any of you Cypriots out there, you will know that meat, quite a big part of a Cypriot diet. I always remember going over to like family gatherings and my mum would be like, oh yeah, they don't eat meat. And then like members of my family would be like, oh, it's okay, don't worry, we'll give them lamb. And my mum's like, no, that's definitely still meat. So I don't know if any of you Mediterraneans out there can relate to that. Initially, when I stopped eating meat, that was pretty much everything across the board. I wasn't eating fish, I wasn't eating meat, and I wasn't eating most animal products. 15 years ago, veganism wasn't overly common and there wasn't a huge amount of awareness around other foods that you could have to replace the protein. I was also super young, guys. I would have been about 13, and even though I was trying to educate myself on it all, I didn't know enough about it, and I actually ended up losing quite a lot of weight. At the time, I was a very competitive swimmer and it was affecting my swimming as well, to a point where I reintroduced fish back into my diet. Around 1 year after that, I also started eating eggs again, so I haven't eaten meat for over 15 years, but I do eat fish and some animal products. But a lot of my diet already is heading towards the plant-based side of things, which you guys already know from all of the recipes on my website. Would you ever come to Melbourne? Oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. I literally love Melbourne. I've been to Melbourne a lot of times already. Alex, my partner, is actually from Melbourne and he's lived in Melbourne for a lot of his life. I'm like trying to desperately get him to move back there so we can move back there as a couple. My dream, guys, is to live in Australia. I'm not gonna lie, that is the dream, but he doesn't want to move back. Yeah, watch this space, but I'll be coming over to visit for sure. How tall are you? I am 5'11". I'm a pretty leggy creature. How long you live? I think that means how old are you, maybe? I don't know. I'm 29. I ruptured my ACL and MCL last week skiing too. Your workout videos are really great, thank you. It's you guys that are keeping me going with feedback like that, so thank you so much. How will you keep your body fat low and your abs? What a funny question, but actually one that's come up quite a bit. Obviously I'm not physically active at the moment, which is absolutely killing me, by the way. And I think that might be one of the main reasons why I'm not sleeping very well, because my body's so used to being super active. However, I am still managing to do some workouts. So at the moment my physio has said that I need to be majorly concentrating on my hamstring strength, my core strength, and my glute med posterior fibers, which is a whole new story. So I'm actually working out every single day, and although it isn't cardio based or the HIIT stuff that I normally do, I am still doing a lot. On top of that, I'm really looking after my nutrition. Just to let you know, I'm constantly thinking about you and telling my colleagues at work and hoping. Oh, this is great. When do you plan to launch your own range of activewear? Guys, that is literally my dream. I can't even tell you, like, I love activewear, in case you can't tell. And yeah, to either collaborate with a big brand to design my own line or bring out my own, both could be on the cards. I mean, I would absolutely love it. And if anyone's watching out there right now who wants to collab in that way, slide into my DMs. Oh my gosh, this has to be the best message I have ever seen in my life. Okay. I heard you had fat reduction and it was then injected to make your boobs bigger. Any truth in this? Oh guys, I can't even bring myself to answer that one. Absolutely ridiculous. How did you get into a blogger career? Now, this is quite a long one. I'm gonna try and summarize it super quickly because I will go into this in a lot more detail in the How I Make a Living vlog. But in a nutshell, obviously my background is physio. I started off in the NHS working as a physio, and then after that, I went into working in professional football alongside the private sector. When I was working in professional football for a championship side, I actually trained up as a Pilates instructor because our gaffer at the time was massive. Sorry, gaffer is basically manager, boss of the team. God, I've got so many like manly terms in me. That's the football background. Anyway, our manager at the time was massive into Pilates and yoga, and he wanted me to start teaching more sessions with the boys from a conditioning point of view to strengthen their core and prevent injuries. So as well as teaching for the club, I wanted to set up my own classes business, which was basically like one class a week in a local church hall, and try and build that as quickly as possible. So in a nutshell, I printed out 500 flyers and started like delivering them through all my neighbors' letterboxes, etc, etc, and I delivered them in maybe like, I don't know, 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, that went very fast. I remember going into the football club the next day and telling the boys, and they literally laughed in my face. They were like, Lily, people don't advertise with flyers anymore. Like, there's such thing as Twitter, there's such thing as Instagram. And I was like, I barely have time to speak to my friends face to face. I don't even use Facebook. I am not setting up more social media accounts. It was a little bit of a battle, but they eventually got me to set up social media accounts. Twitter and Instagram followed, I think, like 6 months after. Initially, I literally set up those accounts to fill my classes in North London, to try and get people coming to my classes. That business ended up growing from 1 class to 12 classes a week, I think across a year period. Okay, we're now half an hour later. My camera ran out of battery. It's dark outside, the lighting's bad, and I'm cold, so I put on my dressing gown. Please do not judge me. So anyway guys, I hope that has helped to answer your questions and also helped you to get to know me a little bit better. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button, it massively supports my channel. And I will see you tomorrow for yet another daily video, which should be a clothing haul, but I'll also be filming my physio treatment as well, so who knows, it's going to be a little bit of lucky dip as to what video you get tomorrow. Anyway, sending you so much love. Thank you so much for all your support so far. You guys are incredible, and I shall see you mañana. Bye.